Bangor law enforcement is warning people of porch pirates as residents start to receive an influx of online orders this time of year. The term porch pirate is used to describe individuals who commit theft of delivered packages left by the door of a residential property. Bangor PD says they receive an increased number of reports regarding packages being stolen around this time, the holiday season, following Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping. They say being proactive with preventative measures goes a long way.
A lot of companies offer delivery times that you can take advantage of. Pick a time that you're more likely to be home. If you have a trusted neighbor, some people set up secure boxes that they can have packages delivered to.
Installing home security cameras or motion-activated lights can also prevent a potential theft. If you do have items stolen, it's important to report it to police as soon as possible. Pictures or footage from security cameras can also help police identify porch pirates.